Hi, my name's Andrew Schiff. I've been an accountant for over 30 years, and I've taught literally hundreds of people how to use QuickBooks accounting software. What I'd like to do in this little video is share some insights with you that I've developed over the years to help you use QuickBooks as efficiently and effectively as possible and create accurate financial statements for your business. What I'd like to talk about for the next few minutes is the problem of duplicate names for customers and vendors, and also the QuickBooks Undeposited Funds account. Very often, when a business owner is in a hurry and they set up a new customer or a new vendor, they forget to check the list of existing customers and vendors to see whether or not that customer or vendor is already in there. And in QuickBooks, just like most accounting programs, if there's even a slight difference in the spelling of a customer's name or a vendor's name when it's entered the second time, QuickBooks is going to think that there's two customers or two vendors, even though it's really the same customer or vendor with a slightly different name. So for example, if a business owner enters a vendor's name, Wright Electronics, and that vendor already exists in the list of vendors under the name Wright Electronics Incorporated, QuickBooks is going to think it's two different vendors. And the problem that's created when that happens is the balance owed to that vendor is spread out among several different accounts, or in the case of a customer, the balance owed by the customer is spread out in several different accounts because the customer was entered 2 or 3 times under a slightly different spelling. So the way to overcome that is to remind ourselves to double check the list of existing customers, vendors, inventory items, and so on to make sure that that customer or vendor or inventory item does not already exist under a slightly different spelling. But if we happen to make the mistake, there is a feature that exists within the Customer Center or the Vendor Center in QuickBooks to merge customers and vendors with slightly different spellings together so that the separate accounting records are combined into one. The second issue that I'd like to talk about in QuickBooks is the concept of undeposited funds. The way the QuickBooks program is written is that QuickBooks thinks that when you receive a payment from a customer or other money coming in, you want to put that money in the safe of your business, which QuickBooks calls undeposited funds, and then transfer it from the safe into your actual bank account. So, for example, when a payment comes in from a customer, QuickBooks, by default, will deposit that payment into an account called Undeposited Funds, and it waits for you to move it from Undeposited Funds to a bank account. And when you open the Banking Make Deposits window, QuickBooks will display a list of those payments that are waiting to be transferred from undeposited funds to a bank account. Now, this is confusing for many business owners because many business owners just think about depositing money straight into the bank when they receive a payment from a vendor or other types of cash receipts. So what I'd like to show you is how to change the default settings in QuickBooks so that you can, if you choose to, deposit cash receipts and payments from customers directly into the bank account and bypass the undeposited funds account. The way you do that is by going to the Edit pull-down menu at the top of your screen, selecting Preferences, then when a window comes up with all your preferences, select the Payments row down the left column. When the Payments Preference window comes up, click on a tab in the top right corner that says Company Preferences. So again, the Edit pull-down menu, select the Preferences row. When the Preferences window appears, select Payments. When the Payments Preferences window appears, click on Company Preferences, which is a tab in the upper right corner. And then when you've done that, you're going to see a box in the lower right corner that says Use Undeposited Funds as Default Deposit to Account, and there's going to be a check mark in it. Remove the check mark by clicking on it. So again, remove the check mark that appears in the Use Undeposited Funds box that appears in the lower right corner of your screen. Click on that box to remove the check mark and then click OK. And you'll see what happens. When you go back, for example, to a window like Customers Receive Payments, you're going to now be presented with a pull-down menu which will allow you to decide where you want the money to go. You can let it go to undeposited funds by default, or you can select a bank account in which to deposit the money. If you'd like to see a demonstration of this procedure and a step-by-step tutorial that shows you how to set up and use QuickBooks for a business from start to finish, you might want to take a look at a DVD training material that I've developed called QuickBooks Companion. The website for it is at the bottom of your screen. And thanks for listening. Okay, is it good enough?
Yeah.